welcome back to my channel Firewall again. Today we are going to see if there is a given scenario, how you can identify the set of security profiles that should be used for that particular scenario. Although security policy rule enable you to allow or block traffic on your network, security profiles help you define an allow but scan rule, which scan allowed applications for threats such as viruses, malware, spyware, and the DOS attacks. When traffic matches the allow rule defined in the security policies attached to the rule are applied for a further content inspection such as antivirus checks and data filtering. Security profiles are the features that provide service of the content ID feature of Palo software. Security profiles are not used in a match criteria of a traffic flow. The security profile is applied to scan traffic after the application or category is allowed by the security policy. The firewall provides default security profiles that you can use out of the box to begin protection your network from threats. Security profiles are attached to specific security policy rules specifying that particular type of threat detection should be performed on a traffic allowed by the rule. You can add security profiles that commonly applied together to create a security profile group. This set of profile can be treated as unit and added to the security policy in one step or included in a security policy by default if you choose to set up default security profile group. Security profile types. Security profiles manage particular types of threat detections. They are antivirus, anti-spyware, vulnerability protection, URL filtering, file blocking, wildfire analysis, data filtering, DOS protection. Let's go one by one with all these profiles. Number 1, antivirus profiles. Antivirus profiles protects against viruses, worms, trojans, and spyware downloads. The Palo Alto network antivirus solution uses a stream-based malware prevention engine which inspects traffic the moment the first packet is received to provide protection for a client without significantly impacting the performance of the firewall. This profile scans for a wide variety of malware in executable PDF files, HTML and JavaScript viruses, and includes support for scanning inside compressed file and data encoding scheme. If you have enabled decryption on the firewall, the profile also enables scanning of decrypted contents. The default profile inspects all the listed protocol decoded for viruses and generates alerts for SMTP, IMAP and POP3 protocol while blocking for FTP, STP and SMB protocols. You can configure the action for decoder or antivirus signatures and specify how the firewall responds to threat event. Default for each threat signature and antivirus signature that is defined by Palo Alto network, a default action is specified internally. Typically, the default action is alert or reset both. The default action displayed in parentheses, for example, the default alert in the threat or antivirus signature. Allow permits the application traffic. Alert generates an alerts for each application traffic flow. The alert is saved in a threat log. Drop the application traffic. Reset client for TCP. Reset the client side connection for UDP. Drop the packet connection. Reset server for TCP. Reset the server side connection for UDP. Drop the connection. Reset both for TCP. Reset the connection on both the client and the server end. For UDP, drop the connection. Customize profile can and to maximize inspection to traffic received from untrusted zone such as internet, along with the traffic sent to highly sensitive destinations such as server farms. Now let's understand anti-spyware profile. Anti-spyware profile block spyware on compromised host from trying to phone home or beacon out of external command control C2 servers, thus allowing you to detect malicious traffic leaving the network from infected clients. You can apply various levels of protection between zones. For example, you want to have custom anti-spyware profile that minimize inspection between trusted zone while maximizing inspection or traffic received from an untrusted zone such as internet facing zone. You can define your own custom anti-spyware profile or choose one of the following predefined profile when applying anti-spyware to a security policy zone. Number 1, default. Use the default action for every signature as specified by the Palo Alto networks when the signature is created. Then there is a strict. Override the default action of critical, high and medium severity threat to block action regardless of the action defined in the signature file. This profile still uses the default action for low and informational severity signatures. After the firewall detect a threat event, you can configure the following action in anti-spyware. Number 1, default for each threat signature and anti-spyware signature that is defined by the Palo Alto network. A default action is specified internally. Typically, default action is alert or a reset board. The default action is displays parentheses, for example, default alert in the threat or anti-signature. Then there is allow, permit the application traffic. Then there is alert, generate an alert for each application traffic. The alert is saved in a threat log. Then there is a drop the application traffic. Then there is a reset client. For TCP, reset the client side connection. For UDP, drop the connection. Then there is reset server. For TCP, reset the server side connection. UDP, drop the connection. Then reset both. For TCP, reset the connection on both client and the server. And for UDP, drop the connection. Please note, in some cases when the profile action set to reset both, the associated threat log might be display the action as reset server. This occurs when the firewall detects a threat at the beginning of the session and present the client with 503 block page. Because the block page allows the connection, the client side does not need to be reset and only the server side connection is reset. Block IP, block traffic from either a source or a source destination pair. It configurable for a specified period. Now let's understand vulnerability protection profile. Vulnerability protection profile stop attempt to exploit system flaws or gain unauthorized access to system. Although anti-spyware profile help identify infected hosts as traffic leaves the network, vulnerability protection profile protect against the threat entering the network. For example, vulnerability protection profile helps protect against the buffer overflow, illegal code execution, and other attempt to the exploit system vulnerabilities. The default vulnerability protection profile protect client and the server from all non-critical, high and medium severity threats. You also can create exceptions that allow you to change the response to specific signature. After the firewall detect threat event, you can configure the following action in the anti-spyware profile. Number 1, default for each threat signature and anti-spyware signature that is defined by the Palo Alto network. A default action is specified internally. The default action typically is an alert or a reset both. The default action is displayed in a parenthesis, for example, default alert in the threat or antivirus signature. Allow, permit the application traffic. Alert, generate an alert for each application traffic flow. The alert is saved in a threat log. Then drop the application traffic. Then reset client. For TCP, reset the client side connection. For UDP, drop the connection. Reset server. For TCP, reset the server side connection. For UDP, drop the connection. Reset both. For TCP, reset the connection on both the client and the server end. For UDP, drop the connection. Note, in some cases when the profile action is set to reset both, the associated threat log might display action as a reset server. This occurs when the firewall detects a threat at the beginning of the session and present the client with the 503 block page. Because the block page disallows the connection, the client side does not need to reset, only the server side connection is reset. Block IP, this action is block the traffic from either a source or a source destination pair, it is configured for a specified period of time. Now let's understand URL filtering profile. URL filtering profile enable you to monitor and control how users access the web over HTTP and HTTPS. The firewall comes with a default profile that is configured to block websites such as known malware sites, phishing sites, and adult content sites. You can use default profile in a security policy, clone it to be used as a straight starting point for a new URL filtering profiles, or add a new URL profile that will have all categories set to allow for visibility into the traffic on your network. You then customize the newly added URL profile and add list of specific websites that are always should be blocked or allowed, which provide more granular control over the URL category. Let's understand data filtering profiles. Data filtering profiles prevent sensitive information such as credit card number or a social security number from leaving a protected network. The data filtering profile also allows you to filter on keywords such as sensitive project name or a word confidential. It should focus your profile on the desired file type to reduce false positive. For example, you may want to search only Word documents or Excel spreadsheet. You also may want to scan only web browsing traffic or FTP. You can create custom data pattern object and attach them to data filtering profile to define the type of information about which you want to filter. Create data pattern object based on predefined patterns. Filter for credit card number and social security number with or without dashes using predefined patterns. Regular expression filter for a string of characters. File properties filter for the properties and the values based on the file types. Note if you are using third-party endpoint data loss prevention DLP solution to populate file properties to indicate sensitive content. This option enables the firewall to enforce your DLP policy. Now let's understand file blocking profiles. The firewall uses file blocking profile to block specified file type over a specified application and in the specified session flow direction, inbound, outbound, or both. You can set profile to alert or a block on an upload and download, and you can specify which application will be subject to the file blocking profile. You also can configure custom block pages that will appear when a user attempts to download the specified file type. This allows the user to pause to consider whether they want to download a file. You can define your own custom file blocking profile or choose one of the following predefined profiles when applying the file blocking or a security policy rule. The predefined policy, which are available with content release version 653 and later, allow you to quickly enable best practice file blocking settings. Basic file blocking, you can attach this profile to the security policy rule that allows the traffic and from less sensitive application to block file that commonly are included in malware attack campaigns or that have no real use case for upload or download. This profile block upload and download of PE files such as .scr, .cpl, .dll, .ocx, .pif, .exe, Java files like .class, .jar, help files like .chm, .hlp, and no other. Potentially malicious file types including .vbe, .hta, .wsf, .torrent, .7z, .rar, .bat. It is also prompt users to acknowledge when they attempt to download encrypted RAR or encrypted zip file. This rules alert on all other file types, give you complete visibility into the file types entering and leaving your network. Then strict file blocking. Use this stricter profile on the security policy rule that allow access to your most sensitive application. This profile block the same file type as the basic file blocking profile and block flash, .tar, multi-level encoding, .cab, MSI, .msi, then encrypted RAR and encrypted zip files. Configure a file blocking profile with the following action. First is alert. After the specified file type is detected, a log is generated in a data filtering log. Block after the next is block. After the specified file type is detected, the file is blocked and customizable block page is presented to user. A log also generated in the data filtering log. Then continue. After the specified file type is detected, a customizable response page is presented to the user. The user can click through the page to download the file. A log also generated in the data filtering log. Because this type of forwarding action requires user interaction, it's applicable only for the web traffic. Now let's understand wildfire analysis for profile. Use wildfire analysis profile to enable the firewall to forward unknown file or email links to wildfire analysis. This detection is for zero-day threats contained in the files. The firewall's antivirus threat detection find known virus based on local resources. Specify file to be forwarded to analysis based on the application file type, transaction direction, upload or download. Files or emails linked matched to the profile rule are forwarded to either the Wildfire public cloud or the Wildfire private cloud hosted with a WF500 appliance. Depending on the analysis location defined for the rules, if a profile rule is set to forward file to Wildfire public cloud, the firewall also forward a file that matches existing antivirus signature in addition to the unknown files. You also can use Wildfire analysis profile to set up a Wildfire hybrid cloud deployment. If you are using a Wildfire appliances to analyze sensitive files locally such as PDF, you can specify for less sensitive files such as PE files or file types that are not supported for Wildfire appliances analysis such as APK to be analyzed by the Wildfire public cloud. Use both the Wildfire appliances and the Wildfire cloud for analysis allow you to benefit from prompt verdict for files that already have been processed by the cloud and for files that are not supported for appliance analysis, and freeze the appliance capacity to process sensitive contents. Now let's understand DOS protection profiles. DOS protection profiles provide detailed control for DOS protection policies. DOS policies allow you to control the number of sessions between the interfaces, zone, addresses, and countries based on the aggregate session for a source and destination IP addresses. The Palo Alto network firewall support two DOS protection mechanism. One, flood protection. Detect and prevent attack where the network is flooded with the packet, with result in a too many half-open session and services being unable to respond to each request. In this case, the source address of the attack usually is spoofed. And second, resource protection. Detect and prevent session exhaustion attacks. In this type of attack, many hosts or bots are used to establish as many fully established sessions as possible to consume all of the system resources. You can enable both type of protection mechanism in a single DOS protection profile as well. The DOS profile is used to specify the type of action to take and the details of the matching criteria for the DOS policy. The DOS profile defines setting for sync, UDP and ICMP floods, and can be enable resource protection and define the maximum number of the concurrent connection. After you configure the DOS protection profile, you then attach it to the DOS policy. When you configure DOS protection, you should analyze your environment to set the correct threshold based on your actual traffic rather than using the default value provided. So guys, in this video I try to explain different profiles available in the Palo Alto networks. So if you like my video, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon, so whatever the latestly uploaded video will come to you as soon as I will upload them. So guys, thanks for watching this video and have a wonderful day ahead. Bye bye.